My talk is about target fixation, and I'd like to ask you if you've ever crashed your car or your push bike. Hands up, anybody? Ha! Wow, that's a lot. Do you remember those last few seconds before you had the crash? I'm not asking you to repeat what you might have thought at those last few seconds, but there was a sense of inevitability that kind of took over, and you thought, and you might have let go and resigned yourself to crashing, whatever it was, and you might have been screaming. You might have been flying through the air. Glass might have been flying through the air or shattering and all sorts of loud noises. The problem with having a crash is there's one critical thing that you can do to prevent that crash from happening. But the problem is that every nerve in your body is screaming at you to do the opposite. Does anybody know what the opposite is? You look at the blooming thing you're going to crash into. Whereas, you should be looking at the gap. The place that you can go to avoid the crash. But we tense up and we just go, oh, and we slam on the brakes and we're hitting hard, and the sense of inevitability, and there's all sorts of crashing and flying around. That happened to me recently. I was very upset actually. My blooming car, this woman crashed into my car, I can't believe it. And I know about target fixation. And I talk to people about target fixation all the time. And yet, even though I knew what I should be doing, I couldn't do it because my screaming nerves took over and I was completely discombobulated. So there's a very, very clear way you can see this if you watch motorcycle racing. All the motorcycles are going around the track, they're all trying, very close to each other. And then all of a sudden, one bike will fall off. And the person immediately behind that rider will follow him off the track because he can't take his eyes off that fallen rider. There's amazing videos on YouTube. And you can see it from the eye view of the motorcyclist behind the fallen rider. I can email you the link if you want. It's fascinating. I love to watch it. But so not only does this motorcyclist follow the fallen rider off the track, but he follows him across the grass, and it's just before he gets to the barrier, the hedge, you crash into the fallen rider. Ouch. And of course, if you see it from a third-party perspective, you can see what's happening. So whenever you watch motorcycle racing or car racing or cycle racing or whatever it is in the future, then you'll know, James talked about this, target fixation. Now, of course, not all of us are motorcycle riders. There's a few in the room, I know. But I'd like to apply the same principle to normal life. Because target fixation happens in slow motion. So, there's a quote by Brian Tracy that says, we become what we think about most of the time. Our minds lay down patterns and scripts get written, and in some ways become a bit like a golem. A golem, Terry Pratchett has written about golems, mythological Jewish creature made of clay. You put a written script in its head, shut the door, and then it goes off and does this thing, whether it's a machine pump at the bottom of the sea or whether it's some guard somewhere. And without knowing, in our subconsciousness, we have these scripts. So in life, let's say take relationships. We might suddenly start thinking, oh, this is the wrong person for me. Now, of course, there's a problem with that thought, in that very soon you'll start to find reasons why that person is the wrong person. So maybe they've done something to upset you, but you find reasons and you start going down that route that this person is the wrong person for you. If you remember my talk tonight, then there might be lots of happier relationships because you can say, let me focus on the positive perhaps, and let me think that perhaps this person is the right person for me, and let me remember why I was attracted to them in the first place, and actually choose to look where you want to go. Now, of course, if this person is a complete arse, then you might then you'll have learned from that experience and you go for someone who you do want. It also applies in our careers, perhaps. So we might be thinking, oh, blimey heck, this is the wrong job for me. What am I doing here? My boss is an idiot. I'm never going to get a pay rise. Oh, I hate doing this work. But of course, you can remember to focus your mind on the positive things. That actually, I went to university, I've got a degree, this is my internship, I'm going to actually this, and this. It's going to take me here, 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 and I get paid, and I don't have to worry about bills, and I can go on holiday, and actually he's not bad, and I quite like her jokes, and all of a sudden, because you're focusing on your mind and where you want to go, then you have a more interesting, positive experience. And of course, your colleagues will be happier, because you're not that moaning sod in the corner. And of course, you're into this positive, reaffirming cycle. It's great. What about our health? The hobnobs in the cupboards. I mustn't eat the hobnobs. I'm trying to lose weight. Okay, I mustn't eat burgers. I mustn't eat chips. And of course, the very thing you can't have, tell any kid this, you can't have that. What do they say? Or what do they think? I want it. So if I told you you can't go to the pub tonight after the talk, you'd be blimmin' heck, who are you? I'll go to the pub. But of course, if we focus instead, somebody was telling me today, they have a picture in the fridge of the person they want to be, or models, or wearing nice dresses, or something or other. There's a good thing you can do, actually put a fridge on the fridge, sorry, a mirror on the fridge. Not a fridge. Yeah, a big fridge, double fridge. Oh, think of the food you can get in there, and beer. But a mirror, and a picture, perhaps, of, I would like to put James Bond on my fridge. Yes. So anyway, but then, if I'm focusing on the person I want to be, and in a year's time I'd like to be slightly different, I must say, to be more svelte and muscular. But that's what I'm going to focus my mind on. So I'm not going to focus on the burgers I mustn't eat, or the beers I mustn't drink, although I will probably just drink them without thinking about it. But instead I want to focus on being a healthy, happy person. So of course the challenge is, where does your eyes need to be? Because your body will follow. Thank you.